Oh, you best believe we are back. We are here. Round 1, 2021 preview. Carlton, Richmond, Thursday night, MCG. Oof, it's been a long time coming, people. It's been a long time coming. I want to take a moment to reflect on 12 months ago when everything seemed to be ripped from our existence. It's crazy that we attach ourselves to this game and this team the way that we do. Sometimes I wish I didn't support the way I do, but it is what it is. This is what life's all about. But yeah, 12 months ago, it happened. We're here again. We get to do it all over again, and we get to start fresh, and there's going to be crowds. I myself will be there. Very grateful for that. As it stands right now, there is said to be a 50% capacity, and they are trying to work towards increasing that before Thursday night. So let's see how that plays out. But fuck, I've got goosebumps. We have been waiting for this for so long, and the rhetoric around the matchup is really, it's funny to watch. And I'll be honest, my internal thinking around playing Richmond this week, it goes a little something like this. Initially, I always give respect. I mean, they're Richmond. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? They've done it all. They've come up the long way, the hard way. They've come from Ninthman, all the jokes. And now they seem unstoppable. They've got the best player. They've got the best system. They've won flags. They're coached well. Off-field, they're a raging success. Wonderful club. Supporters are loud and proud. They've got it all. How could we possibly beat Richmond with the team that we have in? Zach Williams missing. Charlie Curno's not playing. We've got so many of our best 22 out. It's just going to be a little too hard. As long as we put in a good performance and don't get, embarrassed, it should be okay. And that's kind of how the initial thinking behind this game goes for me and for a lot of people. I mean, I read a lot of the comments. Not just on YouTube, but on Instagram, on Facebook. And I think people are just protecting themselves because they don't want to believe. And all of these things that I've just mentioned are very true. The way they move the ball, the way they know their game plan, they're very true. Richmond are full credit. However, footy's a funny game. And anything can happen. And I know that I've just mentioned all these great things about Richmond. And it's almost like we're thinking and we're talking about this impossible task, and it's all about Richmond. What about us? What does the situation look like where we beat Richmond? What does the night look like? What does the game look like? How does it play out? How do you make the case for Carlton? We're not a baby team anymore with guys that can't run out games or are too small or are not strong enough or they're not big enough. And it just makes me think, what if Richmond are just that 5 or 6% off? What if their system just isn't humming as what it will be at the end of the year? What if they celebrated a little too hard on this premiership and didn't come back in as good a shape as what they were last year and the year before? What if they're not as hungry for another flag as what they were last year and the year before and the year before that? What if the off-field indiscretion with Dimmer and whatnot, what if that's fractured them on the inside? What if they don't respond well to that? What if Carlton jump them? What if Harry kicks 5? What if Fish kicks 4? What happens if Cripps has that 35 possession, 17 contested possession type game? What about Carlton? What happens if it's just a magical night for Carlton? What if they unfill the flags and it just has them in that mentality where they think they've won the game before they've even played it? That's all it really takes to beat a team in this game. They're not unbeatable. They're not unbeatable, people. They're not unbeatable. They're a great side, but they're not unbeatable. Particularly in round 1 of this season. They're a team that knows it's a marathon, not a sprint. Absolutely. Do they deserve to be favourites? Absolutely. Full respect. I will always give them respect. But they're not unbeatable. And so as we get closer to this week, and as I got closer to thinking about making this video and all of that, just the what if starts creeping into my head. And I think that is what the game's all about. That's what sport's all about, and that's what supporting's all about. It's literally the word support. It's all good to be a realist and, I knew we were going to lose because it's a win-win. If we lose, you can say, oh yeah, I was right, I told ya. If we win, it doesn't matter because you're happy because your team won. So why not go out on a limb? Why not show up Thursday night, the 25 of us that are allowed to go, and absolutely tear that place to shreds and scream from the top of our lungs? Why not? Why can't we beat them? So that's the mentality going in. Yes, they're great, but they're not unbeatable on Thursday night. Let's be real. Yeah, we haven't beaten them in a long time, but it can be done. And if we don't believe it can be done, what do we expect the players to do when they go out there on the field? So that's the mentality going in at the moment. Now, we've got some good news. Harry is fit, and it looks like he will play. That's what Sam Doherty said. He's got to get through the last training session, but he's available and ready to play. Thank goodness. Because as much as what I've just given there in that speech, if Harry wasn't playing and we had to play someone like Oscar McDonald, full respect to Oscar, but come on now. Doesn't know the system, he's new, the synergy, all of that. We're already missing Williams and a couple of others who were important. So Harry's playing, thank goodness. Now, I watched most of the Making Their Mark documentary, and I learned a couple of things. I learned that David Teague is 100,000% the coach for us, no question. And I also learned that Eddie Betts has to play round one, 100% in my mind. Why do I say that? Well, I had a look at it. Really goes in depth into what happened last season with Eddie personally, among the others, but relating to Carlton. 4 children. His lovely partner Anna was pregnant with their 5th on the eve of the season. They end up going to the hub. He leaves the family. Their family comes up. The whole range of emotions. That's happening. The racism is happening. The calf issue is happening. The form happens. And there's no doubt it played a part in his second half of the season. Also, aside from that, that's why I think he'll be better prepared for this season. But aside from all of that last season, he's on the list. And he deserves to start round one. He deserves the chance to start round one. I also think if we're going to beat Richmond, we've got to bring it to Richmond. And in a hostile environment as what it's going to be, you have to create as much energy as possible. And the one thing Eddie Betts does, no matter what, is he creates energy, particularly when you have fans there. We know what happens when he touches the ball. The fans just rise. They get to their feet. They make a little bit of noise. There's that humming in the crowd. And I think he can create some havoc for them. He's experienced. And we're playing for the right now. We're not playing for the kid whose spot he's holding, because who's knocking down the door for his spot? I don't really think anyone just yet, because the season hasn't started. So I'm all in. I was literally all out for Eddie a couple of weeks ago, but after watching the doco and watching the situation and learning to empathize with what's actually going on in their human lives and how it could be affecting their form on the field, I'm back. Eddie's back for me. So I'd be playing Eddie. I'd be playing, obviously, Harry because he's fit. We're going to need, for me, I remember last year very clearly, I think we all do, and it really was the story of 2020. We got punched, we waited to get punched to see how bad the damage was, then we'd counter. We cannot play like that against Richmond. They'll eat us alive. You have to bring it to them. We have to bring it to them, for goodness sake. How many times do we have to lose to them before we come out with fire? From the outset. That's really what we have to do. From the first bounce to the final siren, it's got to be hunt mentality. Do we have it in us? Of course we do. Of course we have it in us. But we've got to see it. The supporters are waiting. We are waiting for the statement to be made. And there's no bigger statement for it, to set up a season, really, than beating Richmond round one and announcing to the fans, fuck the public, fuck mainstream media, who cares? They're going to write about us, good or bad, either way. But for the fans to really erupt, we've got to beat Richmond. We have to get the early win in the season. We've got to get it. We've got to get it done. So I want to hear from you. How do we beat Richmond? Don't give me the realism, because I get it. I respect them. Don't get me wrong. I respect Richmond, but can somebody make the case for Carlton? Can you give me something to make the case for us? Because I'm pumped. We're back. I'm back for the ride. We're back for the ride. I'm excited. This is, it's just spirit. The game gives you a different energy week to week. It's going to be the Monday, you walk into the office or wherever you're working, whether it's an office or outdoors, a job site, wherever you are, it's that strut, or it's the banter, it's the tipping, it's the super coach, it's the dream team, it's the draft stars team and position where you finished. It's the whole lot. And I just can't wait. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be watching footy again. I'm grateful to be going to the footy. How am I not going to cry? I don't know. It's a very emotional time, but it is what it is. So share with me your thoughts. How are you feeling before this game? Are you nervous? Has it kicked in yet? It's Monday at the time of recording this. Let me know in the comments below. Make the case for us. What do we actually need to do to beat Richmond? What's their game plan? What's their style? Talk to me about the practicalities of Thursday night. I'll see you in the comments. I can't wait for this season to begin. I'm over the moon, and we will go from there. Go the Mighty Blues.